What's up, everyone? I'm Landon. This is Todd. We're the brothers on the grid. We're here to talk about our predictions for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Let's get into it.
Brothers on the grid together. We ride in the world of Formula side by side.
Yeah, dude. So for this Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, it's gonna be really exciting because this race, it's the second race of the year. So like, even though there was some exciting things happening in the first one, people are starting maybe to understand their cars a little bit better. They've been working really hard leading up to this one, understanding what went well and did bad. But the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix has only been on the calendar since 2021, so it's a relatively new circuit, which is really exciting, I think. In Saudi Arabia, as we know, it's really hot. This is a night race because they tried doing cooler weather, but it's still going to be warm.
Yeah, going along with that, because it is going to be so hot, we're going to see a lot more different use of like the cars and especially the tires. Where with Bahrain that just happened, we saw a lot of hard tires coming out. They all started with soft, but most of them moved to too hard and just stuck with those hard tires. But in this one, we're going to see a lot more of the medium and soft tires throughout the whole race. At least that's what my prediction is.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that makes the most sense. I think we will be seeing a lot of medium and softs. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I agree. This is like a pretty fast circuit. It's actually I think it's the second longest circuit on the grid in terms of length
Actual
going
distance.
around. But it's also one of the fastest because it has a lot of like high-speed straights. And so it's kind of exciting race to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we get into our predictions?
Of course. So here we are once again with our tier list maker. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
Dude, I would love to go first.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I'm going to start with S tier, and
Okay.
I'm going to put Red Bull because I want to be right, like, sue me. I
Yeah.
want to get something right. Obviously, we know Red Bull is super good at the flat out straights because of their car. They're both really good. Verstappen is an amazingly consistent driver. And then this is, I think, considered a street race. And so we have Sergio Perez, he's going to do really well because
It's
he's
his
the
thing.
king of street races. So I think that they're easily going to be 1-2 in this race, unfortunately. But I just think that's how it's going to be unless we get something like a really big surprise. I would be more shocked if they didn't go 1-2 in this race.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put one other team in the S tier, and it's gonna be Mercedes. Call me their hype boy, call me their biggest fan, whatever you want. I think that they are gonna do really well. I think in the last race, they learned the limitations of their car. I think that Hamilton learned to not be so crazy with his setup last second, to be like, I'm gonna do something different. And I think that they're gonna have a lot better engine and setup compared to Bahrain. So I think that they're going to actually shock people about how quick their car is, because I think that it has the potential to do really well. And they have two really good drivers this year. So I think that those two are S tier. Now for A tier, I'm actually going to be putting McLaren.
Oh.
The reason for this is Lando Norris. Marry me. Just kidding. Already married. That would stop you. I don't know. I think that he's really good. I really like Lando Norris. And I think that he is going to be able to do really well here because of like the really fast speeds. He's really good at defending. He knows how to drive well, and he knows how to manage his tires extremely well. And so I think that for mainly Lando Norris, that he's the one that's bringing them into A tier. Now, don't get me wrong, Oscar Piastri is really good. I don't know if he'll be right behind Lando, but I think that he will be getting points for sure. I would say in the top 7 for him as well. I think that he's good. He's still learning, but I think he's really good this year. Now, next person in A tier, I'm going to put Ferrari. Your team. I think that both of them are really good. And I think that their car is really good. I think they're still learning it. I think they're going to fix Leclerc's car, and I think that they're going to do really, really well here. I could see one of them scoring really high and the other one getting medium points, to be honest. And then I'm also going to be putting an A tier, Aston Martin. I think they're really good. I was actually really surprised about how well Lance Stroll did in the last race, and I think that he's going to continue being really good. And also we know Fernando Alonso, amazing driver, can't say too much wrong about him, and I think that they're going to do well. Now, going on to my B tier, I think that RB, VCarb, Visa, Cash App, whatever you want to call them, I'm going to put them B tier. I'm actually a really big fan of both of these drivers. Daniel Ricciardo, who can't be a fan of him? Like, he's so great. But then we have Yuki Tsunoda, and I actually really like Yuki. I think that he's like a really fun driver. He's aggressive. He's learning how to not to be so crazy. Last year was a really good example, and he's continuing to learn control, but he's also an aggressive driver. So I actually really like his driving style. Next, I'm going to be putting Stake also in B tier. Kick, the lime green car. I think that their car is doing better than I was expecting it to do, to be honest. And I think that I don't know if they'll be getting points this season, but they're going to continue to do, or not points this season, points this race. I don't know about that, but I have high hope for their drivers. I think they're going to do well. Next, I'm gonna in C tier. I'm actually going to be putting Haas because make Haas great again, and I think
Haas great again.
I think that they're both like, I don't know. I was really impressed with how well their car did, even in qualifying. We have two experienced drivers. I actually can't remember which one did better. Was it Hulkenberg or Magnussen that did really well? In qualifying last time, I actually can't remember. It's fine. You don't need to search it or look it up. Whoever it was, sorry for forgetting your name and which one you are, because in my mind, I'm not gonna lie, they're very similar people. They're both pretty experienced. But I'll try to remember because I think they're both pretty good. D tier, I'm gonna be putting Williams first and then Alpine last. Williams, I really, really, really hope they start doing really well. I really like Alex Albon. I think he's really good. I like him as a person and as a driver. Logan Sargent, I think, could do better. And then Alpine, I have zero hope in their car. Nothing with their drivers. Zero hope in their car. So this is my setup. I think that I'm going to be correct. And I think that I have there's a 0% chance that Mercedes isn't going to be taking third and fourth at this race.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just relaying what I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, I have some slight corrections to yours. Very slight here. First off, we're moving them down and Ferrari's coming back up.
Okay.
I'm just working with the evidence I have here. First off, Red Bull, yes, Red Bull stays. Red Bull's not moving anywhere. Unless something tragic happens, they both crash into each other and are both out of the race.
One can only hope.
One can only hope, but I don't see that happening. So, Red Bull stay in S tier. After that, I see Ferrari doing very well again. They drove really well last race. Like you said, I think they're going to get Charles's car figured out, and I think he's going to do even better. And then Sainz, I mean, he's just a solid driver. So I think they're just gonna stick at it, be right up there at the top. I don't know if they'll get 3-4 again, but I predict at least one of them will probably be second or third, and the other one will also be very high. Um, After that, I do see Mercedes doing pretty well,
Let's
but
go.
I see them being at the bottom of the A tier again. I don't think they're going to get their heating figured out. I think their car is going to overheat again. Personal
Don't you
opinion,
dare put those curses on us. Don't you
I
dare.
I'm not speaking it into fruition. I'm just saying what I see is going to happen. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that figured out between, I mean, it's only a week in between the two races. That's not a ton of time. Um, but I still see them doing very well. So leaving them in A tier, but at the bottom of A tier. Um, but yeah, I see McLaren doing very well. So I'm gonna leave them in A tier as well. And Aston Martin, um, I think they're actually gonna be below Mercedes, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I mean, you're wrong, but I can forgive you for that one.
yeah. Um, Past there, I don't see Red Bull doing as good. I think,
Red Bull?
or not Red Bull, sorry, RB, the Visa RB Cash App,
The V carb. I like that name.
the V carb. Yeah. I think Steak's going to do better than them. I'm going to put them down in C tier,
Big
actually.
State or Stake?
Oh, I moved the wrong one. That was
Okay.
my bad. I switched them places and then just grabbed where I thought the one was. Um, Yeah, so I'm gonna leave Steak and B tier by themselves. They did surprisingly well. Until they cut some of that green paint off their car. I don't think they're gonna do amazing, but they did well for the amount of weight that all that paint's putting on their car. Um, so I'm gonna leave them like that. I think they'll do well again. But yeah, love the drivers of Red or of RB Honda. Uh, whatever you want to call them. Um, like you said, Daniel Ricciardo, awesome guy. Yuki, a little bit of a hothead, but a good driver. Um,
Dude, he
so I
was
think
so
they'll
funny in this last race.
what?
He was so funny in the last race when they were like, you guys need to switch places. And he was like,
Oh,
are you kidding
yeah, he was
me?
so upset.
I loved it. Honestly, I loved it.
That was awesome. And then they switched places, and he couldn't even, or Daniel couldn't even make it happen. I was so hoping he would finally get past the Haas, but he didn't, and that's okay. But I think them and Haas are going to be right there neck and neck with each other in this next race. I don't think they will do pretty good. Um, but yeah, and then below that, yeah, I agree with you. William before Alpine, but both of them in D tier. Um, I think yeah, hopefully Logan will be able to figure out his stuff and will do better this upcoming race. Um, but I really just see Alex carrying uh the Williams team. So, I mean, Alex did pretty good. He came in 15th, so there is potential with that car and the drivers. We'll just see what happens in this upcoming race. But that is where I would put all of them.
Let us know down in the comments who you think is more right, and also tell Landon why he's completely wrong. So up to you guys. But
I'm
let
just I'm just saying what I see, you know?
us know.
Can't fight the facts.
Oh man. Yeah, well, I'm super excited for this race and I can't wait to see my predictions become correct. So
Yep.
thanks for joining us, and we'll see everybody after the race and we'll give you a recap of how much more correct I was.
Right. We'll see if that happens. Have a good one.
Sup, bro?
Sup, bruh?